Morning, beloved twin flames and soulmates and lovers. How are you all doing? Well, we're going through the Lionsgate portal next week and we feel the change of energy. Last week was for the Divine Masculine a very complicated week. A week of a lot of dark energies came through this portal and try to stop the twin flames to come together, and all kinds of other things that is living in the unconscious mind of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So let's see what's going on for this week and what's in the divine masculine's mind space. In his mind space there is justice. He feels that there is justice be done, needs to be balance in life, in his life, and he is working on it. And he's working on this balance through communication, through speaking out his truth, handling the truth, and also communicating with his divine feminine for 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 the balance to come back into their lives. So that's what's needed at the moment. There's a lot going on about balance at the moment, and it could mean that there is a lack of balance and a lack of justice in his life at the moment because he needs to work through some things. And the scale, I hear the scale tipped, and when the scale tipped, now it needs to come back in balance, and by communicating everything, what he really wants in his life. So bringing back the balance, because things were out of balance, and by communicating and by moving through things, to feel in his heart space what is really necessary for him to release, and also what he want, what weighs heavier, the guilt or the happiness, the guilt or the happiness. He needs to build that out. Okay, what is in his heart space? The Ace of Wands. He wants to move forward. There is this urge of need to go forward, moving on. New beginnings, and he is thinking of new beginnings in his heart space. That he is trying to make a new environment for himself, but also for his divine feminine. There is I hear there is a lot of new energy coming his way, but he needs to be careful not to overdo it, because he's almost overdoing it all. He needs some space and some rest to balancing everything out. Otherwise, he keeps on going in his mind space with thinking, and that's when he's going over his own limits. It could mean that there is, lack of sleep and too much doing and too much not enough rest. And that's what he's doing almost for a few years already now. So it's there are too many things that needs to be balanced out. Okay, so it means that he still gives a meaning to everything that's going on in his life. So he's still attached to the thoughts, that what he's thinking. So if he would release this, this would be so much easier for him to release all the burdens. How does he seize the divine feminine? The divine feminine is saving her money, is keeping the things for herself, and she is saving the money to assist her divine masculine. And I see that the divine masculine don't want to have anything to do with that. He wants to be independent and he wants to do it by himself. He also sees that she is in balance with all elements, that she is going through all the elements, and that she is, bringing the love, back into her heart space, and bringing all the elements back in balance, and holding it in her hands to save everything, and to hold it as I don't hear as tight, but it's more holding space for it, holding space for everything that's going on in the divine feminines, but also in the divine masculines space. So she's really holding it with love, the earth, the fire, and the air. It creates the totality of the human being, and she's holding space with love with that, and she's sharing her love. So that's what he sees, what the divine feminine is doing. What's going on in the divine feminine's mind space? Death, the end and a new beginning. The end of the serpent, the end of a journey, shedding a new skin for a new beginning. And it's the union that's of the two serpents that are coming together. The transformation is done. The transformation of the divine feminine is done. Her circle is done. And it could be that she is going through a new cycle, and that she's going through a new shedding her skin and ready for new things to come her way. And the Kundalini energy that is activated in her system, that will rise up through her body to illuminate everything around her. So she is definitely ready for the ending and a new beginning for herself. It doesn't mean that there is endings and new beginnings. It's a cycle of life. It's the circle of life. Like now we're going into the harvest season in Lamas. By the way, all have a blessed Lamas. As it is the 1st of August, we're starting the harvest season, and we can reap what we sowed, and take all the fruits, and everything we put our energy into, we can reap. So a lot of beautiful things can come your way. Beautiful things will come your way in abundance and love. So there's a new cycle for the divine feminine coming in. What's in the mind or in the heart space of the divine feminine? The King of Cups. Her divine masculine is still in her heart space, is still there waiting for everything to work out, waiting, and also filling up her own cup, seeing that he is filling his own cup, seeing that he is the divine partner in her life, and everything has a divine timing of union. And the serpents, the two serpents, the Kundalini energy is already activated. So when this is activated, the love will grow stronger and stronger. So that's in her heart space. She's still holding space. She's holding space for her divine masculine in her heart. Okay, the tower. She sees the divine masculine as he has a tower moment, that every cycle that and everything that happened in his life, that happens for a reason. And the tower is also, shedding the old, releasing what no longer serves you. It's a big awakening where the divine masculine is going through. It could be that divine masculine finds out that he can't make his divine feminine happy the way she wants it, so he has to let her go. It can also mean that divine masculine sees where his heart belongs, and he will do everything in his power, to fulfill that wish. And that's what the divine feminine sees, where he's going through, and that he is choosing, to follow the love and follow his heart. And that's what divine feminine is seeing in her divine masculine at the moment. What is supporting the divine masculine? Strength. Feeling the strength, feeling a liberation, not feeling being tied with a chain around his neck, not able to move. So he is getting his strength back, and he's getting his freedom back. Freedom to walk his path, freedom to walk and do the things by himself how he wants it, without any influence of anyone around him. He is trying to get back on track, trying to get his strength back, to get his rest back, and then celebrate life. Celebrate this golden triangle that is the this triangle is the universal energy that pours down all the master codes from the universe down through the to your pineal gland, to be received into your heart space, and go with the flow with everything that's going on in your life. And that will support him, being strong, being getting your power back, getting your inner warrior back. And maybe it needs that you need to roar a few times, before all the things of the tower can be released. Maybe a good shout or a good roar will get all the energy out that no longer serving you. How does he seize the divine feminine? That she is surrendering and has the total truth in surrendering. She is going her way. She is making a leap of faith. She is wearing her crown. She is in her power, and carried by the moon energy and the circle energy, and she's just surrendering to life. She is not let life happen to her. She is taking control of her life in a way that she let everything guide her. She doesn't need the control. She doesn't need the control of anything. She released everything. She let herself be where she needs to be, the divine masculine in his space where he wants to be, and that's what he's seeing within her. That she is releasing and going with flow and just surrendering to everything that's happening in her life. That she is not attached to anything, and that she takes a leap of faith where she needs to take a leap of faith. And it could be that he sees her, wow, that's, what are you doing? You're just jumping down a cliff and just thinking that you will be supported. And she is. Every step she takes, she is supported, and she doesn't need the control of the system to hold her back. What is supporting the divine feminine? Magic is supporting her. It could be that all the elements that is united into her system is supporting her to live her life the way she wants to live. It can also be that she is helping with magic a lot of other people in her life that needs to be helped and that needs to be guided through things. It also can mean, for a group of you, that the illusion of the third dimensional energy needs to be released, as there is, no as the illusion of the third dimension. It's the life you think that is your life. It's not a life. It's all an illusion. The real life you're going to find is when you surrender and live your authenticity. And your authenticity isn't coming from your mind space. Your authenticity is coming from your soul space. So, and she's filling her cup. Her cup is filled, and all the elements are there to support her on her journey. She's going into nature a lot to surrender and to feel that. And she's working in nature and with nature, I hear. And that's supporting her. Because out of nature, she finds all the magic that she needs. How does she see the divine masculine in the relationship? That he's still struggling with himself, and fighting himself. And like he asked the divine feminine to stop fighting with everything. Now the divine feminine is seeing that the divine masculine is fighting. And she hopes that he can, stop the fights with his thoughts and come to his heart space. Try to open his heart space for more magic to come in, for more balance to come in, for more abundance to come in, and not going into this fear, because he is, creating fear in his system by fighting all of this. Wow, beautiful. What is blocking the divine masculine? Well-deserved reward. He thought that he was getting a reward for all his effort, and but because of the unconscious mind, he did some things that didn't didn't really deserved the reward. So, but he's still working on it. He's going to work on it. This is um, the reward that he really wanted, to stand on top of everything and, working his way through everything and being on top of the world with his divine feminine turned out a little different, and that's blocking him. And what is he going to do about it? He's going to work to open his heart space. He knows that his heart is caged. He knows that he is locking his heart up and really guarding his heart of everything that he's been through. Now it's time, if you find out that you're an open heart and you can forgive and forgive and forgive, you need to reset your mind. So you only can forgive if your heart is open. And if your heart is open, you know that you don't have to fear for love anymore. That you can love, that you're open to love, that you can be supported by people that really love you, and that you know that will always support you, that you don't have to guard your heart, but feel like a warm bath, like a warm bath where you can surrender in, where you will be held by the warm water, and that you can relax in that bath, as a child, being held, as a baby will be held in her bath, and feel the support in the water, even if it's scared. After a few times when she had a bath, she starts to relax because she knows that she will always be supported in the bath by someone that's holding her and just pour the water over her body so she can relax. And that's what divine masculine can use as, supporting himself. Take a bath, relax in the bath, feel how you can surrender to the warm water around you, and open your heart space, so you know that you're always being supported, and that you can open your heart, and that heart is already open. You don't need, your heart isn't closed. You only what you experience with a heartache, that your heart is cracking open, because it needs to be open. So this is what happens, and what he will do about it, to open his heart space and not closing it off, being afraid of being hurt again, but just, to open his heart space, to be supported, to not to feel, and to transform his mind, that he's always supported by his divine feminine and supported by himself. Give yourself a warm bath, and let your heart and let yourself be supported by the warm water. If you're doing that, take some Epsom salt in it to cleanse all your energies, and clear out everything that's in your mind space, and let it flow, all the emotions, let it flow through when you release the bath. What is blocking the divine feminine at the moment? joy and stability. She can't find the stability and she can't find the joy at the moment. And it could be that she's working too hard, that she is, giving so much support to other people that it really takes her joy away at the moment because of the heavy stuff that she is releasing for people and helping people with that. And and that she is doing this from her heart space. So she is going through her heart space and starts to get the joy back in her life by realizing that she is doing this to help and support women throughout the world to heal their hearts. So it's really a beautiful, and that's also how she opens her heart space, because her heart space is opened and she's working from her heart chakra. She will give women their joy back, their joy and stability back in life. And at the moment, because of all the work she has at the moment, there is not enough time for her to have joy and stability in her own life, because they're going through some things that needs to be wrapped up, and and that takes also time and space. So at this moment, this is blocking her of too many things to be done in a very short time. Okay? What combines the masculine and the divine feminine? Their soul craft. Their souls are resonating at the same level. Their souls are attracting each other back into each other's life. Because when these two souls, two golden souls, two light souls are met, these souls are doing like this. Oh, I'm so glad I see you again. And those souls want to hold each other so tight and they don't want to let go of each other. But then it could be that there's something happening by ego, that the souls get separated for another growth. And when this growth is done, when they're coming back together, it's like they can be together in harmony. They can be together in love. They don't have to hold each other anymore, but just can release and be next to each other, because they know that their souls will never release each other. These two soul parts will never ever getting rid of each other, because the one is masculine, the other is feminine, and they belong together. And it's also what needs to be done here is the divine masculine within himself, and the divine feminine within himself needs to be in union again. And with the feminine and the masculine in her body needs to be together again. Those no fighting, without the fight of the ego and the heart. It needs to be just, okay, we can be here, we can be together, and we don't have to claim our souls. We know that our souls belong together, so we don't have to pull it and hold it so we get stuck together, but just let it go and know that those souls are coming back together, and they need this, they need the friction, to warm up, they need the friction, and that's all fine. But you can't hold each other's souls as they are free. those souls needs to be free. Both souls need to be free. And if you grab those souls and you hold them, you want to hold that soul, it's going to explode and it's going to rip apart. And that's what the ego mind does. That's what control does. That's what manipulation does. That's what everything does that is from an unsubconscious mind. So it is so, you need to be so aware what these souls are doing together, what these souls are needing together. They need to be free so that they can come together as a union, in every way. There needs to be this friction, that it needs to be soft, fluid. This also how you make fire. This is also how you make the fire going. So that's what they need. That's what combining them both. They both, want their souls to be free and want to have their freedom, but also being together. That's really no more old paradigm energies in their systems. They grew out of it. Their souls grew out of it. So what is bringing them together? Their soul journey. Their soul journey is bringing them back together. And that means that both souls need to grow. Both souls has a journey to go. It seems that the divine feminine is walking her soul journey and the divine masculine is walking his soul journey. And it doesn't mean that they need to be with you, that they need to be with you 24 hours a day. He needs to walk his journey and to find out where he feels his happiness. And she has to walk her journey where she can find her happiness. And in that happiness, in that happy space, they can find each other again. These souls will come together and they will say, hi, I've seen you for such a long time. I love you and I want to be with you. And then, I'm happy to see you again. I'm happy to have this in my life. And the friction will create, the Kundalini awakening will create a new soul journey, will create the fire, will create, love lets you move. Without love, you can't move. Love will let you move forward, on your journey, on everything. Love makes you move. Without love, you get stuck. But that it means that you need to find your inner love, because the love that you need to find is not the love that you want to grab from the outside. The love is coming from the inside. It's the sacred union that we're all looking towards, but it's not, you're already in a sacred union with yourself. And of course we need the masculine and the feminine to join together and create and to create new things together, but they also have their own journeys to walk. If your journey is on the right side and, for instance, is in another country, and you see that your divine feminine isn't, or in another state, and you see that your divine feminine isn't happy with you in that country, you have to let her go, because you know that her love deserves the best, and that you can't make her happy, even if you try everything, because that soul has a special journey, just like your soul has a special journey. You know, if your soul wants to be in Spain and the other wants to be in the Netherlands, you know, then they create different journeys. But you know, you have to let it go and come back in the middle again. And it's all possible. It's all possible. You know, I see also people who live in different states in America, you know, when those souls meet, they are happy together. And then they can create together. And then it could be that they one has to go back home and the other one. And the longing in between, that makes them grow fonder. You know, the longing, the souls are working through things that is not necessary anymore, but their souls are also finding their way back together. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, because your soul will get you on the path what's for your highest good. You know, if your soul just needs to be stuck at home and going to um, um, for instance to the plant market, or to the um, you know, to get the plants and do gardening on a Saturday afternoon, you know, and if that's your life purpose, you know, that's your life purpose. But if the other person has another life or soul journey, you know, those templates don't match. So let it go. Let it go and start your own journey. Let's see what we have for the Romance Angel cards for the Divine Masculine. Okay. Get the cards. They're flying through the whole room, guys. Spirit has a lot of energy. There are too many cards. Divine Feminine. Oh, and there's another one falling out. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Beautiful. This is a better reading than just the reading of the Divine Masculine. I feel, because the Divine Masculine had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of jealousy, a lot of resentment, and a lot of hatefulness to cope with from third parties, from the outside, and a lot of magic was sent to Divine Masculine. So I hope he will do better now, you know, upcoming time. And let's see what the Lover's Oracle will bring. Space between the souls. Twin souls. Okay. Twin souls. Divine masculine. Wow. All beautiful cards here. What a beautiful cards. I really love this deck. Really love this deck. It's the Love Oracle deck, guys. I think you all need to have one. All need to have one like this. Okay. Let's see. The playfulness for the Divine Masculine. You know, to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirits to shine and to have fun with your Divine Feminine. And the romance is Cupid's arrow strikes. So when you start into playfulness with your Divine Feminine, Cupid arrow will strike with her. You know, they can't, you know, too much heaviness, you know, is too much dense energy. So make sure that your energy is uplifted when you meet your Divine Feminine, and Cupid arrow will strike. You know, that's what's going on. For the Divine Feminine, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you the romance you deserve. Wow. And then friendship. Nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship and your love life will dramatically improve. So if you start off as friends in a relationship, you know, and the friendship bonds, your love life will dramatically improve, and you need to stay optimistic about it and have positive thoughts for your love life to start evolving. But it needs to start with friendship. You know, you can't go out of a relationship with the third party, coming into a relationship with the Divine Feminine, and expect that everything is going fluid. You know, they first need to get the trust back in by having friendship, by connecting, to having the bonds together, to know that they love each other. But just take it step at a time. You know, you can't expect your Divine Masculine you know, to step overnight. This took years and years and years for the Divine Masculine to come at this state, you know, in this state of friendship with his Divine Feminine. And because of forgiving each other, something starts to grow, you know, the friendship starts to grow, and they still both know that there is still this deep bond within themselves. And let's see what's the deep bond within themselves. Close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life, regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. Yes, well, that's exactly what I tell you. You can find joy everywhere. You know, you can find joy in redecorating. You can find joy in gardening. You can find joy, you know, in your walks. You can find joy at the beach. You can find joy looking at the stars. You know, take nature into it and start to feel the gratefulness, and the joy will follow itself, regardless where you find yourself into, you know. It's a state of mind you create. And what is the card for both of them together? Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Wow. Passion. A magnetic and seductive quality surrounds your present at the moment, and enjoy it. So both the divine masculine and the divine feminine are ascending to a bigger level of commitment to each other. And the magnetic and seductive quality that both have will surround you at the present, so there is this energy of, magnetic attraction, and for the divine feminine also. So enjoy it. It's the season of Leo. It's the season of fire and passion and compassion and, strength. So get all these energies out to really enjoy life at the moment. Divine feminine knows also that there is a lot of attraction from other people into her life than she used to have in her life 6 months ago. So the change of people in her life is creating a new kind of energy for her that moves her on to a higher level. Um, yeah, that's also probably for the divine masculine, because he is also in that space of, the feminine and the masculine is in union within. So, well, guys, I hope I gave you a nice reading. Also know it's a general reading. When it fits with you, it fits. When it doesn't, toss it out, go to another reading or to another reader. And when it synchronizes with you, then it's for you. When you feel, oh my goodness, this is my whole life, what's going on here, and I'm so excited. There are also people who will get in an engagement, and the divine mask of the divine feminine will receive a ring as a promise of commitment, you know. So, um, so it's a promise to accelerate the energy between the masculine and the feminine, to give each other a commitment of loyalty, of, a future marriage or future, um, you know future in yeah future togetherness. Could be for a lot could be for a lot of other people. I'm not talking about myself here, but for other group. It could be that there is a huge resonation with engagements and promise to be married. Okay, this was it for this week. My readings are open again. I'm starting to get readings in for next week, and if it's synchronized, and if you need a personal and private twin flame reading, let me know. For the countries that are still, or the countries or the cities that are still in lockdown, there is a reduced price. For the other countries and cities that are open, then the normal price is available. So let me know. Thank you for all my new subscribers, for your faith in me, for supporting my channel, and keep on going and keep it optimistic. Okay, I love you all and see you again. Bye bye.